at this time, when we set up the program, there's two things that when we were going through it was Amy Whitley was the first name that came to my mind. Back in the day when we started these pilot programs, she made a call to me. I was in Minnesota, and she didn't even get the words out. I'm like, sure, Amy, I'll do whatever you want. She goes, but Ro, I haven't asked you what you want me to do. And I go, if you're calling me for something, it's yes. And we went through the facts on how many chapters there are and what her legacy is. But I'm going to talk more from a personal side because when we started down this road with the 12 pilots and how I remembered it back at our management conference, everyone was fighting to get in that room. You didn't have a seating place. Everyone's like, well, why are you in there? I go, well, because I'm one of the pilots. Well, how can I be a pilot? I go, sign your name up. It just caught so much momentum. And Amy was the catalyst behind that. And it was something to see over the years how it developed. But what her and I's passion was the inclusivity of men. And one of her favorite sayings is that when you're for women does not mean you're against men. So please, in your endeavors inside UPS and outside UPS, always be inclusive of everyone in your women's leadership initiatives because it just makes it that much better. When I started Minnesota, when we started our pilot, I had all the guys there. And I said, how many of you in this room have daughters? And every one of them but one raised their hand. So it really resonates. I think the children are raised different today. And so, Amy, if you can come up on stage, I'm going to let Amy talk, but there was, one thing I really enjoyed about Amy is the personal touch, the personal side. And she always had a different way with different management styles. And there was one year, and I haven't even asked you this, there was one year she wasn't at the conference. And it really was like, Amy's like front and center. Why wasn't she at the conference? So I waited a while, and I reached out to her, and her daughter had lost a very, very good friend through a really horrific tragedy. But Amy was open enough to talk to me about what her and her husband went through, and I'll never forget that. And I'm like, wow. And some of that, when you go back to your workplaces and you go back to your other companies, that personal touch means so much. And that's what I'll always take away from Amy, is a personal touch with each and every one of us. So, Amy, I couldn't be more proud to be on the stage with you. Thank you. I know this is very fragile, but I know there's a really good company that's going to take care of it. Well, anyway, so it is very, very fragile. Okay, so I'll let you take it. Okay.